please subscribe. Toy box treats tonight. Memories unlocked. Toy box treats tonight.
Howdy friends, and welcome back to Toy Box Nostalgia. I'm Douglas. In this video we're going to be unboxing and reviewing and taking a super duper close look at the 2024 Mondo first release glow-in-the-dark version Masters of the Universe Scare Glow. This is badass. This thing is enormous. I love the vintage style head. I wish I had Scare Glow as a kid. I had friends that did and I was very jealous. So this is kind of like my first vintage style of Scare Glow. I do have the two Masterverse versions, which we'll compare, but there's no comparison. Looking at this compared to the 12-inch Matty Collector version of Skeletor makes this look gigantic. Look at this collector-friendly box, right? It glows in the dark. All that green you see glows in the dark, just like the skeleton and the head. Can't wait to take a look at this. If you're new to Toy Box Nostalgia, you'd love to see more content like this show up into your YouTube newsfeed, then please consider hitting that subscribe button. It truly helps out the channel. If you're a fan of Mondo's soft vinyl lines that have been coming out, if you're just a fan of Masters of the Universe, Scare Glow, or if you just like Toy Box Nostalgia, please give me a thumbs up. I'd love you so much forever for it. And drop a comment below letting me know what you think of this figure. Thank you so much for joining me this evening. Let's just dive right in. As you see here in the black light, take a look at this package. It's so cool. We have a bat right here, down here on the left. Then we have a glow logo right there. Very cool. And then over here on the right, we have more bats. Look at this, it's so cool. I love this so much. Here is the top of the box. You can see the Scare Glow logo right there. We have a bat on the right side and two bats on the left. And finally, here's the back of the box. You can see that beautiful cave artwork we saw on the front. It says Mondo and also says Mattel down here on the bottom right side. On the sides of the box, we have a Mondo logo. We have a bat. It says soft vinyl. Very cool. We have that massive Scare Glow logo again. And then down at the bottom, we have a Masters of the Universe logo that glows in the dark. Very heavy cardboard, very nice cardboard. Not as heavy as the cardboard from the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles card backs, obviously. But again, this is collector friendly, so I believe all we have to do is just open this up from right here, lift the flap up, and then pull the figure out. So on the back, it says Scare Glow, evil ghost serving Skeletor. With a wicked spell, Skeletor summoned the most evil warriors of the 5 dimensions. None more sinister than this fearsome reaper in his own image. Powered by the darkness, Scare Glow stalks the shadows of Eternia, the sharp blade of his scythe of doom illuminated by his terrifying glow. And then down here it says collector's model, this is not a toy. And then we have our credits. The concept design was done by Emiliano Santalucia. The sculpt is done by Tommy Hodges. The paint master is Mark Bristow. Cut and sew is Tim Hansen. Package design is Jordan Christensen, and the art direction is our favorite Hector Arce. This is crazy, and he looks like he's in a tomb. Like, this is so big. Let's go ahead and get him out of this box. Whoa. So if we look inside the box, there's actual artwork inside there. We do have like a black burst, and we have green all around it. I'm not sure if that green glows in the dark or not. No, I just tested it. It does not glow in the dark, but it does slide out. So you see here, we can see it. It's just it's cardboard, but it's like the thinnest cardboard imaginable, and it's super high gloss. Whereas this box is a very nice flat finish. And the glow-in-the-dark feels like glow-in-the-dark paint. You know what I mean? You know that feeling? It's like kind of gritty. Okay, had to zoom back out again. Here is the figure in the bubble. Removing the cover of the bubble, and we're met with a plastic sheet. Several plastic sheets. Holy cow, this is huge. Gigantic. Let's get some more of this plastic out of here. We also have some paper inside of here to protect the paint, I'm guessing, or to help with the drying of the paint once it was placed in the package. I think that's it. I think he's all freed up, and we're ready to take all of this out of the package. Here's everything outside of the bubble, my friends. First impressions. I truly could not conceptualize how large this is. This is like this is wide as my fist here at the abdomen. And it smells very strong of vinyl. It's definitely like a really nice soft vinyl. Everything you get in the package. So as accessories, we have 2 scythes. One is glow in the dark and one is green, like the traditional toy. And then we have an extra head sculpt. And then behind the bubble was this plastic bag right here, which is the cape, which I believe has wires in it, but I'm not 100% certain. All right, so let's start with the figure's details, my friends. Look at that head sculpt. The eyes are actually 2 colors. It's two-toned. There's like a dark reddish orange on the outside and an orange on the inside, as you can see right there. On each eye, the sculpt has a large crack in the top of the skull, and it's painted black. And we have black in the nose and then black around all the teeth. This is very heavily inspired by the original 1980s toy. This is the head I'm definitely going to be displaying this figure with, just because of that fact. And plus it just looks crazy awesome. The new head does look really nice, but we'll take a look at that when we look at accessories. So the body is like a smoky clear color. It's not 100% transparent. It's definitely translucent, obviously. You could see straight through it, but it's like a smoky color. And then we have the skeleton, which was somehow sculpted inside of the body. And the body is very soft feeling. It feels like very soft vinyl. Very nice, and you can actually squish it. Like, this is a squishable soft vinyl figure, as opposed to the TMNT soft vinyl figures that Mondo has released. The arms they really look like, you know, this looks like a Masters of the Universe buck and arm sculpt and leg sculpt to me, especially the legs, how they're situated. When you look at it, it's completely obvious that this is a Masters of the Universe figure. The hands are kind of gigantic, and they actually have skeleton fingers. Look at all of that detail. That's nuts. Going through each one of the fingers. And the fingers are malleable, just like everything else. This is very, very soft and squishy. It's not super squishy, it's rigid, but it's still, you know, like he'll stand, he's not going to fall over or anything, but it's still, you can definitely squish it. Moving down to the belt, take a look at that paint application. It's like a shiny royal blue that's a little bit desaturated in person, and then we have a purplish royal blue as his loincloth. Flipping over to the back, you can see the belt continues, and so does the loincloth all the way down to the bottom, making it look like one of those original 1980s action figures. Speaking of 1980s action figure, take a look at his feet. Don't they look like Skeletor's feet? They were probably reused for the action figure of Scareglow from Skeletor and many other figures, I'm sure. But holy cow, does this really stand out as an absolute gorgeous collector's item and a beautiful, beautiful piece of Masters of the Universe art from Mondo. Like, this is absolutely stunning to me. This is beautiful. That is pretty much all of the details. The skeleton, I can't express enough how amazing it looks. Look at the spine. You could see the hip bones down there. You could see the rib cages, the shoulder blades, that arm bone right there, connecting right there to the elbow, going all the way down. I don't know the names of bones. The leg bones you could see, very cool, going all the way down to the bottom. Now, when I first saw this, one thing that I thought of as far as the details go is that the skeletal system seems a little bit skinny to me. But then I realized that in my brain, I was trying to stylize what it would look like inside of this type of body. And the way that it looks actually makes sense as far as like being a little bit realistic, in my mind at least. His right hand is in a gripping position, so he can hold the scythe, very cool. And then his left hand is like a grabbing hand. He does have these like weird fin pieces, like how Skeletor had from the original 1980s action figure. This is stunning. This is perfect. I'm loving the head. Like, the whole thing is very shiny and very, very soft. All of it. The belt is probably the least shiny piece on this. The arms and shoulders are very, very muscular. To the abs, he even has a 6-pack of abs here. He's even got the muscles over here on the sides sculpted in to make him truly fit in with that original toy line. Super bulky, super buff figure. I love it. I think this is perfect. So next thing we'll take a look at is articulation. So I believe he only has 3 points of articulation, probably due to the internal skeletal system. But he has a cut here at the throat, and he has a cut here at the shoulders, and that's it. So you could get the arms to move. As you see right there, you can see the shoulder moving inside It's just so crazy. That's so cool looking on both sides of the figure. You can see. Then the head spins 360. The head also comes off for the additional head sculpt, but you see nothing else moves. The legs don't move like the original figure. The waist doesn't turn at all. That's it. That's all the articulation you get. It's right there, and right there. All right, so the next thing we're going to take a look at is accessories, right? I'm dying to look at these scythes, right? This scythe is massive. It really does look like the original to me. This is amazing. I'm loving the color. I feel like they included this green color because the original was green. But it's made from like a hard plastic. I don't know what kind of plastic it is. And the sculpt looks really good. It's actually rounded on the bottom. Very cool. And then you could take a look at some of those details, the cuts and everything. Everything is razor sharp. And the blade looks awesome. Like the way that the blade is sculpted looks great. Just a beautiful, massive, colorful accessory. So this is 14¼ inches in length. Let's take a look at the glow-in-the-dark version. Of course we have to have a glow-in-the-dark version, right? The same exact type of plastic, just in a different colorway, and this is the glow-in-the-dark version. Again, these are 14½ inches in length. All right, so let's take a look at the additional head. It comes in a bag. It says do not suffocate, and you can see that this one is a lot more realistic looking. Well, sort of, it has a very large jaw. It kind of looks very Terminator looking to me. It still has that massive crack on the top, but we do have additional shading as we see right here. It looks like an airbrushing of some of the details just to make it look super 3D. The eyes are blacked out, but they do have large red eyeballs inside them as compared to the other head sculpt. We can take a look here to do a little bit of a comparison. Yeah, very cool. You can see those eyes are much bigger. This one looks a lot scarier to me. Definitely has the black paint around each tooth rather than the way that this one is, kind of like a sewn scarecrow mouth or something. I don't know, I like that. I like that about Scareglow. He's a scarecrow maybe, but he glows. I don't know. The nose is completely different. It's not just an recessed triangle. It actually kind of looks like a skull nose, especially from the side. Here you can see, we compare the sides there. You could definitely see how much more detail is in the additional head. And to swap the heads, I'm pretty sure you just kind of pull this off. And there you go. That's how the head comes off. I had to warm it up by essentially like holding it with my hands and breathing on it because it felt like it was going to break coming off, and it was making a lot of scary cracking noises. To put the other head on, you probably just pop it on. This is what the joint looks like without a head. Looks like it's just like a piece of plastic that's just glued on top, kind of like a topper for the neck hole. And that's it. Look, there's the new head on there. Wow, that looks really awesome. Absolutely awesome. And it kind of fits the aesthetic a little more, honestly. But again, this one just being retro, I'm definitely going to display it with this one. Very last accessory is the cape. I'm very excited about this cape because it's actual soft goods. There it is right there. Soft goods cape. Has a very large collar on it, and then it has like a second collar that kind of lays down over Scareglow's shoulders, and then we have a rope right here. The sewing looks really good on this. Everything seems good about it. It has I feel just 2 wires in it, and the wires are here sewn in on the edge. You can kind of see I could kind of bend it in different directions so that we could get some sort of like wind blowing effect. That's very cool. And it feels like a canvas material, definitely cotton and dyed in this really nice purple color. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and pop that head off so that I can put the cape on. Just kind of like just put it over this, like this. Just very scary, very creepy. So if Skeletor made Scareglow in his own image, maybe that's why there's so much purple. Because Skeletor is a big fan of purple, just like Douglas at Toy Box Nostalgia. Yeah. So the collar, you could definitely display it down like this if you wanted to, and he still looks very menacing. But whenever it's up, he looks super mysterious and just kind of, you know, old-fashioned Dracula looking to me, right? So let's use the green. You know, let's kind of go old school here and see if we can fit the scythe in his hand. That took barely any effort whatsoever, but it's in there very tight. Like, look at this. It's not... It requires like a good amount of pressure essentially to turn that. So this is beautiful. Absolutely stunning. I'm very thrilled with this. I feel like Mondo did an absolutely perfect job on this, and I kind of want the original colorway that was definitely colored, like the original 1980s toy, which glows in the dark and has black lines on it instead of an actual skeleton in it. But this one, something about this one just drew me in, and this was the one that I ended up picking up from their website. Yeah, he's almost exactly 15 inches tall from the bottoms of his feet to the top of his head. His poor bald skull head. Alright, so finally, let's just see what he looks like with the glow-in-the-dark scythe. This feels like a tool. I feel like if I open up the drawer in my kitchen where all like my cooking utensils and stuff are, this is going to end up floating around in there one day. I promise myself. Yeah, take a look at that. That's awesome. Finally, we get to the glow-in-the-dark part. Using this black light, I use this black light for a lot of toy photography, for toys that actually glow in the dark. You could see like the green really lights up in the ultraviolet light. And there he is, my friends. Glow-in-the-dark, scare glow, 15-inch Mondo Masters of the Universe, soft vinyl figure. Look at those bones. Like, look at the rib cage, the way it's lit up like that. Holy cow, it's so well thought out. Like, this project was so well thought out and superbly executed, in my opinion. Like, this just looks flawless to me, like a beautiful work of art. Like, look at his eyes. His eyes are glowing in the black light. You see that? Like, they're not glowing, but like when the black light hits it, I guess, you know, because of their color, but it still looks absolutely awesome. The size is honestly stunning. You could see that, you know, this is just so much bigger. I mean, just look at the head size difference. I kind of wish there was a wire in the top of the cape because it's kind of like wrinkled, I guess you could say, and it wants to just like curl up around his head. Yeah, maybe whenever he's standing up, it'll lay correctly. Let's see if I can get it. Yeah, oh yeah. When I stood him up, it just opened up. Yeah, see? So whenever he stands up straight, you can see that the cape does in fact open up. I do kind of still wish that there was a wire in there just so you can manipulate it however you want to, but the head sculpt is flawless to me. This one especially. The body sculpt, having the skeleton inside of it, I still don't know how Mondo pulled that off. It's so fascinating to think about how it was actually created, and this figure is honestly just mind-blowing to see in person. And I think that's cool that it has like soft body to it compared to like the Raphael and the Michelangelo that we just opened up here on the channel. But yeah, that's it. This has been the Toy Box Nostalgia unboxing and review and super duper close look at the 2024 Mondo soft vinyl first release version of Mattel's Masters of the Universe Scare Glow. This is a 15-inch collector piece. This is definitely a piece of art and not an action figure by any means, even though it does have a little bit of articulation. And obviously he's based off of an action figure. This is more of like just a beautiful collector piece that you want to put on display with the rest of your Masters of the Universe collection. This video is not sponsored. I did purchase this figure by myself, and these opinions are my own, but I would absolutely love to know what you think of this figure. So please drop a comment below letting me and Scareglow know what you think of this figure. And yeah, let's just kick off the conversation. I'd love to start talking about more soft vinyl stuff here on the channel, specifically with Mondo, because of the TMNT and Motu stuff that they have is just, I think is just phenomenal. I love it. Thank you so much for joining me, my friends, and remember, collect and shoot.
Of Snake Mountain, scheming, casting spells. Horde troopers surround them, Hordak's ultimate plan from hell. Slime pit primed and ready, In comes the Shadow Weaver. He-Man stands so tall, so mighty. I have the power. Masters of the universe, Eternia is covered in night. Castle Grayskull sorceress, protect us with light.